This is Adomako Man, and you are tuning in to the Producing Peace podcast, a podcast that celebrates the vibrant tastemakers shaping NYC's cultural landscape. From artists to activists, we spotlight individuals driving positive change and shaping the future of our city. I'm sitting with a DJ who spun for Coachella, model for Kehinde Wiley, an entrepreneur who has fostered partnerships with Revlon and Nike. Today, I'm sitting with Casey Gote, aka Young Wavy Fox.
Here.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to be sitting here with you today. The last time I saw you spin, it was in Brooklyn. And no, that was the second to last time I saw you, because I remember our mutual friend, we all went out together, and I remember at that moment I was like, I have to interview her. I find her so fascinating. I've known you for we haven't spent day to day, but we've been in the same scene of things for a long time. So I wanted to first start off with where you're originally from.
I'm a New Yorker. I'm from New York, but my family is from Guatemala. I'm first generation American. I'm Garifuna, which is basically the indigenous African people that are based in Central America. We're from West Africa, migrated in time into the Caribbean. From there, had a war with the British and French, then migrated into Central America. So definitely a New Yorker from the South Bronx, but my roots I have Garifuna roots.
Do you practice, first of all, how do you know so much about your history? I feel like a lot of us are not as privileged or have taken up the time to figure out where our ancestors come from in that regard.
Growing up, my family always made it very, very clear to me that I am not American. And I better not walk into that door acting like no American, because I would get shut down. Our identity has been a sense of pride for my mom and dad. And even growing up while I was really young, we would have family meetings. I have a big family, and we would all meet at my grandma's house, and we would go over our culture, where we're from, grades. I had a family that was really we are not going to come to America and let America kind of separate us as a unit. We are here, and we're going to grow together. We're going to circulate information between another, and really they poured into us children and let us know who we are, where we're from, and how important it is to have a sense of identity. And I'm proud of that. And I'm glad that I took on that information. And of course, as you grow older, you do your own research, because some things just don't sound right. And I was doing, I've been doing my own research for a while and discovered so many amazing things about my culture, my background that, is definitely oral history and not always written. And because of that, I started doing exhibits. So I have an exhibit that I did last February called Garifuna Nuguya, which means I am Garifuna. And in that exhibit, I showcased my photography, which is amateur, my film work, which is amateur. But I love to put the story together of my culture and share it with the world, because there is so much misinformation about who Garifuna people are.
Is there a community of Garifuna?
Huge.
Yeah?
Huge. New York, California, Chicago. The thing about us is I look just like you. You can't look at me and be like, yeah, she a different type of Black. No, I look like an African American. You can't necessarily distinguish where I'm from based off how I look. We are Black people. And the rest of the title of my exhibit is Garifuna Nuguya, the presence of Blackness in Guatemala. Because when I tell people I'm from Guatemala, they're like, oh, you lying. I ain't gotta lie. What am I lying for? Black people, this is our world. We are the mother and the father of civilization. We everywhere. Asia, Africa, Antarctica. You're going to find indigenous Black people all over, this earth. And this is our earth. And you should not be surprised to see us anywhere. We don't have to lie about being from anywhere. What happens is, because of the political social structures that rule the world, they always going to hide the Black folk and put them in the back so you don't see them. That's just kind of the the way white supremacy works. You know, we are not the minority; we are the majority all over the world. But if it's kept a secret that we exist in Guatemala, we exist in Nicaragua, we exist in Belize, we exist in Honduras, you'll think, yeah, there's not a lot of Black people out here. But no, we outside, heavy.
You know, it's so interesting that you say that, like, because for me, I've been doing a lot of traveling lately, and the more I travel, the more I see the nuances of being Black. But you know, you said something that was interesting, which was that that white supremacy is actively always trying to hide Blackness. Why do you think that's? I mean, from where you stand, why do you think that's a thing that's been in the test of time and history?
I mean,
there's so, but
let's put it like this: if you have a Black man and a white woman, and they have a child, what color that child gonna be? Black. If you have a Black woman and a white man, more than likely the child is going to be Black. No matter what you mix Black blood with, the child is going to end up Black some way, somehow. There is no other race in the world where you can mix the bloodline and the child will end up that other thing. We are the dominant race. White supremacy is actually a myth, because biologically there is no other race more supreme than the Black race. And I'm not speaking this just because it sounds cute. Biologically, biologically, we are built different. You put us in the sun, we activate. You put them in the sun, they burn. And fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's different over here. You know, you cannot deny Blackness and the power of being Black, not just in America, but throughout the diaspora. You hear me? And I hate when my African American friends say, oh, Black people don't got no culture. Actually, you do. And it is the culture that everywhere around the world is trying to emulate and be like. Black culture is the culture. You feel me? And it's so interesting because Black Americans are the main people who got their history taken from them. Yet still, all over the world, everybody want to be like what? A Black American. So I think that when you are powerful, when you are supposed to have dominion over your land, but you've been tricked, it is important to keep you in the dark about who you are, so that the people that have that power can continue to have that power. But, you know, slowly and surely we're starting to see those tables turn, and they will in time.
You know, one thing, because when I first met you, I just thought that, oh, she's an uptown girl. And then, you know, as I get to know you, I learn about your, like, Garifuna, like, community, about being from Guatemala, but, like, also being, like, Afro-Latina. Do you always feel like you have to, like, do you feel like you're finding yourself reminding people, like, I'm Latina, too? Like, you don't know, I speak Spanish, too. I know the Espanol.
I mean, I feel like...
Well, first of all, I just want to say, I know that you don't care what people think, but do you, I guess in a matter of like I'm a nuanced Black girl. Like,
we're not a monolith, right? And I think the way that, you know, the stereotypical roles that Black women have played throughout media and, you know, even reality TV, like, these things really do affect us as a whole. If it's raining, I always say this, if it's raining on my sister's house, it's raining on my house too. We in the same neighborhood. Just because we in different houses doesn't mean that what you're experiencing is not what I'm experiencing. Like I said, I walk down the street and I'm like, oh, she a different type of Black girl. Girl, you Black. That's it. You in America, you Black. So I don't necessarily make it a need to have to say, you know, I'm this. If we have the conversation, it comes up, you'll get to learn more about me, just like I can get to learn more about you. It's not like I'm not wearing it on my back, but I do feel like, because I am, in a sense, in the certain spotlight, in the art world, in the music world, and building my brand and doing what I'm doing, there's not a lot of women that are Garifuna or Afro-Latina that are in the spaces that I'm in that are able to occupy seats at these tables. So it is important for me to discuss my culture. It is important for me to let people know there are Black people all over the world. It is important for me to let people know that I am Garifuna and that we have a very beautiful history where let's talk about it. one of the only tribes and nations that were never enslaved.
Really?
Come on, that's what my whole exhibit was about.
Oh, wow.
The same language that we spoke in the 1400s when we were migrating from West Africa and the Mali Empire into the Caribbean is Garifuna. The same language we spoke in the 1400s, we speak in 2024. What happened with slavery is that everything was stripped from the slave. Your name, your language, your history, your culture. You have no idea about none of that because it was taken from you. And one way that you know a people have maintained and not been indoctrinated into the slave trade, so to speak. Do they have their language? We got our own language, our own flag, our own food, our own everything. The only place that is quote unquote missing is a homeland in a sense because we migrated so many times. So I think it is important, to know who you are. When you know who you are, you can walk through this earth like you know who you are, like God sent you here for real. And even if you don't know who you are, do your research, and whatever resonates with your soul, that's the direction you go in. And you embody that and you walk with your head high. Because like I said, every culture wants to be like Black culture.
That's
Black
real.
American culture and Black culture throughout the diaspora is the most influential culture that this earth have seen. So it's a lot of pride. I take a lot of pride in talking about my culture. Like, I'm done with the slave movies. We fucking know what happened. We know. Thanks,
girl.
Where's the Marvel movie about the tribes like the Garifuna people who fought for their freedom 30 years? The war is called the Black Carib Wars or the 30-Year War. Look it up. There's other tribes like the Haitians who fought for their freedom. Like, give me them stories. Give me that Marvel movie. I know what happened in slavery. I don't need a reminder. I'm good on Black History Month. Black Future Year, Black Future Forever. Let's do that. And let's move more progressive and talk about those tribes that fought for their freedom. Because there's not just one or two. There's many. But again, all these things are hidden. Because if you find out how powerful you are, then the people who are benefiting from you feeling inferior, they win.
Wow. I mean, I agree with you so wholeheartedly on this. And I mean, as a filmmaker, for me, it's important to be able for art to imitate life and all these other things, for people to see art and feel inspired. But one thing you did say is that, we know these stories. We've heard them, we've seen them for so long. And I agree with you on that. But for the people who make the argument that, like, there's some of us who still don't know that story. What do you think about that argument, about those people who feel like they still need that information in cinema?
There's so much information out there. Go watch it. I'm not talking to them. I'm not talking with people that are still doing the research. I'm mad it took the pandemic for these Black people to figure out white people don't like you. They don't like you. Like, what? Like, I've been talking about this for years. That's why I'm done with like the fake outrage. I'm done with it's a lot of groupthink. I've been posting videos. If you look down on my Instagram, 2013, 14, 15, I'm posting Nina Simone. I'm posting quotes. I'm posting about, just what we experience in Black America. I'm talking my shit in my captions. And everybody's just like, oh, she's so extra. She's so difficult. She cares too much about the past. I've lost friends because of that. Then fast forward 2018 to 2019. Now everybody's Black Power. Yeah, marching. Activism is deeper than posting something. Activism is the way you live your life. How are you embodying your Black power? How are you embodying Black freedom? How are you embodying Black joy? How are you as an artist pushing the narrative forward about being a Black person and us not being a monolith? You get me? Like, I'm good on, if you still figuring shit out, go do your research. This conversation ain't even for you. This ain't for you. This for... Where are the liberated thinkers? Where are the people that are ready to move past the narrative? We can never move past slavery. Whether my people were enslaved or not, I am still dealing with colonialism. That even our people are still dealing with that in Guatemala. Brazilians are still dealing with it in Brazil. You know how many Black people live in Brazil? They call Brazil baby Africa. But the media will never show you that. They'll show you some mixed, wild, exotic looking bitch. That's not Brazil. Brazil is Black. Like, Black. Okay? And it's just, we need to stop taking everything at face value. Dig deeper. Why would your enemy give you all the key information about you to make you powerful? Your enemy is always going to have you on Instagram, ignoring your higher self. Your enemy is always going to have your ass distracted, watching Love and Hip Hop like me, watching all these reality shows. That's the job, for you to not to look into who you really are. Let's keep them distracted. Let's keep them high. Let's keep them on liquor. Let's keep them on Molly. Let's keep them on Tusi. Let's keep them on whatever the fuck is out there to keep them distracted from who they are, which is the original man and woman of this earth. Black kings and queens, not slaves. You're not going to start me at no slavery. We're not playing those games.
Girl, you coming in hot. You coming in hot. You know, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit.
I can get real Malcolm X on you.
I love it. I love it. I mean, you know, we're gonna get into that too, about your whole Malcolm X-ness, because I feel like that's tied to the
Morena X. Okay, she got a name. She got a name.
Okay, Morena X. Okay, but you know, before we get to Morena X. How did young Wavy Fox come to be? Because when I met, I mean, first of all, like I said, we talked about this before.
Yeah.
Like Black women are not a monolith. Like Black people are not a monolith. You are not a monolith. Like you walked in many different experiences. And when I first met you, I met you as like this young girl in fashion, styling, and you know, you still killing it in these streets, living like the best New York style. So, like, how did young Wavy Fox come about? Before we continue with our conversation, here's a clip from the film Peace.
You ride. Always, into the day I die.
Well, I worked in fashion prior to entering the music industry. I worked in all the stores you could think of. I started in college, interned at Louis Vuitton, Hermes of Paris, Harper's Bazaar, Jimmy Choo. Wow. You know, while working, interning, I worked a job too, BCBG. I was a manager at Bergdorf Goodman. All the stores, worked at Hermes, worked at like all the stores. I did all the things, Dior, Beaumont. Wow. I mean, I was a really busy, you know, young girl. But while I was in college, I dropped out my second year because I got an opportunity to go to Europe. So I would go to London, Milan, Paris for Fashion Week. This was before Rihanna, before A$AP Rocky. You ain't see none of them niggas there. I ain't joking. All you saw was me. Zarina Ackers was there, who is my friend today, and maybe one or two other Black girls. And we'll be London, Milan, Paris. I did that for a few years, and it was just so unfulfilling. It looked cute on, you know, social media, but one thing I realized is there were not a lot of Black women that looked like me, and the Black girls that were there didn't even speak to me. I was so disappointed in just the lack of representation that existed in this world that I wanted to be a part of so bad. I felt like I was begging for a spot at a table, and I dressed better than everybody at the fucking table. Like, what am I doing? I felt very uninspired. I remember calling my mom crying, like, Mom, no one's talking to me. Like, I thought, like, you know, I looked up to these girls. Like, I'm the youngest girl doing it. You know, I got my Tom Brown blazer, Valentino, like, really outside. And it was like, this shit is so superficial. I had to, like, really snap out of a bubble. And one thing that really happened that kind of shook my world upside down is my best friend got shot in the head and died. I was 20 years old. Bolivia Beck, rest in peace. And that made me realize I'm living in this superficial world, and nothing that I give a fuck about is real. Chanel ain't never did shit for the hood, and I need to get my life together. Facts.
You are such an uptown girl. I cannot.
I need to get my life together.
For real, yeah.
I felt like, what am I chasing? I'm going broke, in debt, trying to get all the bags that all the white girls don't got. I'm like trying to keep up with this facade, and I'm losing myself as a human being, as a person. And I don't really care about these things. I actually have a soul that wants to evolve, but I'm stuck in this superficial industry. So I made a really like bold decision, because at that time I think I was really working And the trajectory was I was going to be that girl. I was in Vogue, in the magazines. My press book is crazy, but I had to
remember
follow.
those days.
Yeah, this is before everybody's doing this now.
Right, they're late.
I was doing this in 2015, 16. I'm not saying this to brag. This is really my life, and it's just a testament. Like I've always been a go-getter. I've always looked for trying to get the most out of life because I know I have all the potential and I have all the strength and I have everything in me to get where I want to be, but I ain't want to be there no more. And you know, it takes a lot for somebody to be in a space where they're making waves in an industry where you don't see girls that look like me make those kind of waves, and just step back and give it all up. And I quit that industry. I left school. I quit my managing job. I stopped working for the magazine I was working for. And I took some time to just like figure my shit out. My friend died. I'm like, what are we doing for real?
My condolences on that. I'm so
Thank
sorry.
you. And it's this month too. So April is actually a month that is so tough for me every year. But this year has been it's been lighter. You know, it gets lighter.
You know, before you continue, I want to talk about that moment because I was in that same moment with you too. And like, I remember being like that young photographer shooting in the runway, like, and I had to be reminded because just like you, like I was just hungry. I wanted to like be that nigga like in fashion. Like and then someone reminded me like, you're the only Black person like shooting at the press pit and backstage. And I was like, what? Like I probably would see one other guy. And so like, and you know, in that moment, I remember there, like I would see you around. I would see so many of us around. And this was way before like Instagram.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And you know, now that you mentioned this moment, there was a time like, because I'm just thinking about it now, there was a time when you did this photo shoot. You're gonna think this is so stupid. You did this photo shoot and you was wearing like heels on a bike.
The Louboutin.
And then I was like, I'm gonna go on a bike one day. I'm gonna like look real cute doing it. And I remember I got on a bike with these shoes. I think I ruined the whole outfit. I was like, what was I doing? But so I wanted just to say like you were so influential. You still are influential.
Thank you.
But I want to get to like, you know, how we got to young Wavy Fox.
Yes.
So you were saying.
Had to take a pause.
Yeah.
Quit my jobs, left school, left everything that I knew, and like started reading Eckhart Tolle, whatever. And, you know, changed my life and started doing mushrooms and just experimenting and like praying.
You're a mushroom girl.
Very much.
Yeah? What is that? I'm kind of straight edge. I'm boring in that way.
Yeah. But since I was a teen, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I just had some progressive ass Black friends, you know.
Okay.
Badass kids. But yeah, just like knowing that plant medicine is natural made me feel more comfortable in trying that than anything else. And understanding that if the government tell you it's illegal, it probably could save your life. Because all the things that they make legal kill you.
That's real.
That's America. America's a place where all the legal shit kill you, all the illegal shit could actually put you on a whole nother level and in tune with your higher self. Okay? But long story short, left fashion, took a job on as a hostess just to like get some money and figure out what am I going to do next. I had a homegirl who did DJ classes and she was paying for it. And I'm like, I'm not paying for that shit. When you come home, I'm going to learn whatever they taught you. And I started doing that. And after a while, I bought my own system and started teaching myself the basics, figured that out, and then started emailing all over New York. Who needs a DJ, going to places. Hey, where's the manager? Hey, nice to meet you. I'm a DJ. I'll do a night here. Like, you know, working sometimes for nothing just to, you know, build a brand. Sometimes working for very little and just worked my way up. And year 7 is different. It's different. No agent, no manager still to this day, but the gigs are, come on, you see the resume. It's different. And I work for that. There's nobody that could say, yeah, I put her in position. No, there have been people that helped me along the way, but groundwork, I did that. Consistency, I did that. Building the brand, I did that. You know what I mean? And it took me walking away from the superficial world that I knew and wanting to really be a real human being. Really wanted to humble myself and really wanting to live this life, not doing some shit because it looks good, but actually feeling good about the work that I'm doing. When I'm DJing, I'm so happy at Domiko. Like, I am so joyful every time that I do a set, you know, and to be able to extend that energy onto other people. You don't know if somebody's ready to kill themselves. Then they come to your party and they're like, you know what? let me try to live another day just because I had so much fun tonight. You know, what I do is so important to me. To be the, you know, I shift the energy in the room. That's a very important job. And I love what I do. And I'm grateful that I'm able to not only sustain a lifestyle for myself in doing this job, but I'm also able to like inspire other people and women that look like me to be in the music industry, which is a male dominated industry. And I feel like Wavy Fox, the name, let's get real hood real quick. Shout out to Max B, free Max B. He used to have this YouTube show. You should watch it because it's funny. He's a hood nigga, but he would talk about he's on a wave, he's on a vibration. Before everybody got all spiritual and started burning sage in their fucking house, Max B used to have this show, you know, hood shit, like doing hood shit on the block, but like just the mindset and him talking about being on a certain frequency.
Was Max B that okay?
He used to hang out with Jim Jones.
So there was this guy. I don't know if this is.
He in jail right now.
Okay, never mind.
From mad long.
Because there was some dude who used to hang out with French Montana who died. I don't know if you talk.
Oh, that's Chinks Drugs.
Chinks Drugs.
But they all hung out. Max B, Chinks Drugs, French Montana.
This is where like the whole New York thing comes in because me and a girlfriend one day we were just hanging out in Chelsea. And we were just walking around, went into a building, ended up in his sound mix thing. What is that called? Like when you listening
party. That's hilarious.
And I remember I was like, who is this nigga? It was like some tall dude with like all white, and we was listening. I was like, oh my God. So that's crazy. Like this is like I feel like these type of experiences happen when you born and raised here. Like you end up in some mess. But so like that's so wow.
Yeah, so I got the wavy part from Max B.
Wow.
Because he called himself the wave god. And then Fox. I mean, come on, Foxy Brown.
Yeah.
Shout out to the mother. You know, I was just telling Gabe earlier, like growing up, Foxy Brown and Naomi Campbell were literally the only Black dark-skinned women on television that you always saw them, you know, and the reason I'm confident in who I am, I'm not jealous of anybody. I genuinely believe I'm beautiful. They were a part of me seeing myself, me seeing myself worthy of spotlight, me seeing myself worthy of attention, me seeing myself worthy of being an artist to any degree. You know, seeing Foxy Brown, her chocolate skin, her slanted eyes, her slim frame, she in all Dior. Are you done with the baby hair? Like, yeah, big Foxy energy. So young Wavy Fox is, and then, you know, Jay-Z always called himself Young Ho. I'm like, nigga, you mad old. Like, so
that's like a bar though. Like,
oh my God. It's a way to just keep yourself fresh, no matter. Like I have young energy. I could be 60, honey. It's gonna always give baby face. Period. So young Wavy Fox, but you know, just all my hood inspirations in one. And that was the DJ name that I decided to go with and brand myself when I decided to really take DJing seriously. And
then you know what too? It's so full circle how that comes, which you can touch a little bit. You could touch a little bit more on. I remember researching you and seeing that you like DJ for an event where Naomi Campbell was at, taking a picture of you. Which like, what did that feel like when that happened for you? Because I'm a Naomi. Before you ask this, I have to say, I don't know if this is gonna sound ignorant or crazy. I feel like to some degree, like Naomi Campbell transcends race in a way. Like, I feel like she's a Black woman. You know she's a Black woman, but like you're gonna treat her like it's just you handle her with care,
a lot of care.
And so it's just like, and I don't know. I always aspire for that. Like handle us with care, you know.
Yeah,
and so like, but seeing that moment with you and her, I was like, oh my God, you better go off, girl.
It was a moment. We were in Senegal and Dakar in Africa, and such a flex. I DJ'd Kende Wiley's opening. He has an artist residency. You should definitely apply for it with your films. Go watch Peace. Amazing.
Thank you.
You should definitely apply for it. I'll give you that information. And, you know, but yeah, he had an artist residency that he opened right before the pandemic. And I DJ'd the opening of that artist residency. Amazing night. Everybody was in the building. Swiss Beats, Alicia Keys, Naomi, Ghetto Gastro, fucking Rich African Princess. It was everybody from the arts flew in. Wow. It was an amazing week of just culture, amazing. It was my first time in Africa.
Wow.
So my first time in Africa was right before the world shut down, and I'm literally DJing this huge party with all these amazing, amazing Black artists, Black people in the entertainment industry, and I meet my idol.
Mm.
And not only do I meet my idol, someone takes a picture of her taking a picture of me.
Wow.
It was a moment. And then, fast forward later on to be booked and hired for her event in Qatar. It's just like, I'm from the hood for real. Like, I'm from Cypress Avenue. You feel me? Like, I'm surprised I'm alive at this big woman age I am now. Okay. So these experiences, I don't say that shit to flex. I say that as a testament to when you decide to follow your dreams, when you decide to put all the fear aside and like really like do some shit. You don't know how you're going to do it, but you know it's in your heart and you know you can. Mountains move, everything moved for you to be able to experience this life in its fullness. But what also tends to happen is the more you are creating and being yourself and operating in that, you're going to be in spaces with people who operate on that same frequency and energy. It's no surprise that we're in a room together right now. It's no surprise I'm in a room with a Naomi or a Kehinde. My energy is of that. You get what I'm saying? That's why your energy as a creative is so important. It don't matter if you have the money to do the creative ideas. It don't matter if you have anything that you think you need. You need vision and you need hustle. And you're going to get wherever you need to go because the universe is going to make sure of it because you're trusting the universe to even go ahead and do this dream. I'm not put here to live no ordinary fucking life. And I'm not going to be a person that's going to limit the experiences that I think I should have because I'm a dark-skinned Black girl in America. The way I walk in the room, it don't matter what color I am, I'm going to get the attention. You feel me? I take my role as a DJ so serious, and I am so confident in who I am because the world every day is trying to push me down. I think I offend people, and I like it. I offend them because they're like, who the fuck she thinks she is? Her. And I'm going to be everything the world is telling me that I'm not. Every day. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to look the best. Best makeup, best hair, best everything, best jewelry, best dress, best everything. Because you're telling me I'm not supposed to, I don't belong. So I'm going to do it on purpose. And I'm going to do it twice and post it. Just for the haters to see again and again and again. You know, it's important for us to operate in our truth, operate in our power. And a lot of us don't even know our truth and our power because, again, we're so distracted by social media. We're so distracted by the world. It's not meant for us to be like of the world, even though we're in it. This is a broken society. I personally want no fucking parts. But if I am going to be here, I'm gonna be loud and I'm gonna take up space because I deserve to.
You know, one thing I look at you is that, you know, when I see you and I see like the work that you do, I always look at you and say like there's so many like young girls, like young people who are looking to you, like just in general, who are like seeing you as an inspiration. And like you also talked about Cyprus. I knew you was from Uptown, but I didn't know what part. We never talked in that way before. We briefly like peppered on it or whatever. But like, so I know you're from Cyprus. How is Cyprus different from like the rest of New York for people who are not, who are listening, watching, not familiar with New York City?
Well, the Mott Haven area, I believe in like the late 80s, 90s is one of the poorest districts in New York, actually in America. So that's where I'm from. You know, I come from a place where I literally lived in trauma. Every day I would like probably have to fight every other day. You know, my life was always in danger. My next door neighbors, my best friend that died, they actually stabbed her 11 times because she was fighting with me. Like, I come from some real, like, I'm surprised I'm alive type shit. Like, before I open the door, I got to look behind me to make sure nobody's about to stab me or kill me. I look nothing like what I've been through. You get what I'm saying? And I was able to travel the world, Europe, very young by myself with no fear in my heart because I'm from one of the most dangerous places in the fucking world. So white people was nothing to me. Come on, let's go to Europe, see what happens.
I think I learned that you went to private school though.
I went to Catholic school, all girls, downtown 77th Street. So it was an interesting juxtaposition. Being from the hood, being from Cypress Avenue, your life is in danger every day. Girls hate you, they want to fight you. But then I get to go to school downtown. I'm learning about fashion. I'm learning real education. I can speak great English. You know what I mean? I have, the most amazing education. Honestly, my sister and I both went to St. Jean Baptiste. I was there for career day. Shout out to Miss Lugo. But, I was blessed to see that there is more than the South Bronx. There's more than my life being in danger. There's this, and there's, shopping, and there's fashion, and there's a whole different life where you're safe. I was able to experience both of those things, and that was important for my upbringing. Very important.
I mean, you mentioned about energy, and this is what I wanted to touch base on, because something else we have in common, like I said before, like when I started like drifting away from fashion, it was because I felt like it was vapid. Like I started doing more film stuff, you started entering more into music stuff. And like the more you speak, I like connect because, we have so much in common. And also I know that we have in common that you are a Libra.
Yes.
What is that energy like? Can you speak towards the Libra energy? Because I know you're about the stars and the universe.
Oh, as above, so below, right? If it's happening in the cosmos, it's affecting us here on Earth. And people don't realize this world doesn't operate it doesn't operate in separation. That's more of a Eurocentric based thinking. A more Afrocentric based thinking is everything is in unity. Everything operates as one. So something that affects you is going to affect me.
That is such a Libra thing to say. We're all about community.
It's a vibration thing. Like everything operates in a totality, not in an individual way. Although it might be an individual thing. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. And I think Libra see it like that. Like you could do something wrong to me. And as a Libra, although you're fucking wrong, I'm going to look at your perspective and why you did what you did. I'm going to look at why you thought what you did was okay. I'm going to look at it from so many different standpoints that at the end of the disagreement, you're not even going to be wrong because I'm able to see all the different perspectives. Still might not fuck with that ass, but I'm able to see why you made decisions. Libra, we look at things full scale, not just as an individual thing. As a Libra, I think I'm supposed to have balance, and I think in a sense that I do. But I'm very extreme. I'm very all in or all out. Very seldom am I in a space where it's like, I'm in this middle area. And when I am in that middle ground, which I'm supposed to handle well, I don't handle it well. I'm either all in or all out. And I've accepted that about myself. But I think that the balance in my world is I can be in these spaces with all these bougie ass art people and with this person or this celebrity. But then the bitch could go right to the corner store. I don't eat bacon, but I will get me a little, egg and cheese sandwich.
Oh my God, me too.
And a ginger
ale. That's my vibe, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll borrow my aunt EBT. You feel me? Yeah.
I don't got EBT, but I get my aunt.
Come on, I'm gonna give you $50. I'm gonna get $100. You feel me? Like, my world is just a very interesting world where like I could be doing some hood shit one minute in the projects with my cousins, tranqui, and then I'm going to go be DJing at the Met the next day. And I enjoy that for me. And I love that for me because balance.
Yeah.
Libra thing.
I feel like when it comes to like, we are so ride or die. Like, I don't know if you can agree or disagree. I feel like first of all, we're ride or die people. We are all about community. We're like the most flamboyant, vibrant, loud ass people. And also too, like we are the type of people that like I said, we ride. Yeah. But like when you fuck us over, it's like it's no like, oh maybe I need to think about it. It's like I give you every avenue to get it right. Yeah. You're wrong. There's no like I'm wrong. There's like no, you did wrong. If I exit your life, it's because you did wrong. That part. So I just wanted to touch base on that because
I'm very much that girl. Very much that girl. Like I would see it from all different angles, but like when I'm good, I'm good, and I will like cut you out of everything because I don't play about me, and nobody around me gonna be playing about me, and I set the tone for that. You know what I mean? So don't screw over a Libra. It ain't gonna end well.
I love that. I love that. So have you ever lived outside of New York City before? Because I feel like you are such a New York woman, a New York girl. So I guess now you're already saying no.
No, but
do you
I
ever
want
imagine?
to.
Yeah.
It's time.
Where would you go?
Time. London.
Okay, for me, I was gonna say LA.
London, LA. I don't like LA like that, but like I'll be in and out for work anyway. But you know, I'm thinking more like just branching out career wise. I'm not really keen on America, so fuck America for real. I'm really like, okay, let's spread our wings. We need to be London. You know, parts of Africa, West Africa, South Africa, Guatemala, Honduras, like, you know, places where I could like build my brand, continue to work. And to match my like energy and sound. My sound is very like worldly in regards to the way that I DJ. I'm a multi-genre DJ. You're not going to just hear one genre from me. It's all different types of sounds and like vibes that I give. And I just want to be in places where I'm able to express myself as a DJ creatively and people are open. And I feel like London, Portugal, Europe is definitely more open regarding sound and more progressive regarding sound. So definitely going to be in London in August. Got some overseas bookings happening this summer that I'm excited about. Won't speak anything too soon, but yeah, we're definitely going to be more global this time around.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Like to see like your growth.
Yeah.
You know, and like I remember, you know, like I said before, I it's important for me to keep up with you. Is also like to hear what you the kind of work that you've done. You got the chance to like work at Coachella, like to spin for Coachella. What? Like you doing all these different things, like breaking everything, like letting people know, like young Wavy Fox is here.
That fire.
So like how did that happen? What did that feel like?
Yo, Coachella was a crazy story. It was not on my calendar, and they book you like a year in advance. So, wow. And I told you I hate April because this is the month that my friend passed. So last year was very difficult on so many different levels. I have a YouTube video about this whole week, actually. Go check that out on my YouTube channel. Shameless plug. But that week, I was sad about that, but I had to shift my energy. So I was at the gym a lot that week, writing out what I like want to achieve. And I got a phone call from Zarina Ackers, which is Beyonce's stylist. She's a stylist star. She's working with Megan right now. She's a huge deal. Go look her up. Go follow her. I met her in Qatar, and we just, you know, linked in Miami, just continued to be friends. And she had a birthday party in LA. She's like, hey, are you going to be in LA this week? Nope, but I could be. What's up? She's like, oh, I'm having a party she's like, oh, come stay with me. So LA was done. I'm like, oh, while I'm in LA, let me hit my people and like work. Let me see who could like throw me some DJ gigs, see what opportunities are out there. I hit my boy Foreigner. Shout out to Foreigner. Amazing Trini dude, Caribbean dude that I know out there in LA. He does the sound, like the stage. He had a stage for Coachella this year. It was a baby stage. But look at the way God works. I hit him up like, yo, I'm about to be in LA. Let me know if there's any parties. You know, I want to work while I'm out there. He's like, yo, I got a stage at Coachella. Let me know if you want to play.
Wow.
Wait, then my email go off. Lauren Halsey had, if you guys went to the Met last summer, that the Egyptian sculptures on the rooftop of the Met by Lauren Halsey, I DJ'd the opening of that event. So this is all in the same week. So
wow.
I get to LA. Let's say I get to LA Wednesday. Zarina party is on Thursday. Coachella's on Friday. I fly back to New York Sunday night. Get to New York Monday morning to DJ at the Met Monday afternoon. Full YouTube video. It's in my YouTube. Crazy. So Coachella happened because I was fucking depressed as shit and decided to shift my energy. Got my ass up, got to the gym, meditation, prayer every day for like 3-4 days in a row. these opportunities came. What people don't understand about being an entrepreneur, yeah, you got to be talented. Yeah, you got to know the right people. Yeah, you got to be consistent and have an online presence. But the most important thing is you have to be able to shift your energy. Energy is our highest form of currency. And once you are able to shift your energy, you're allowing yourself to bring in opportunity, bring in things that are going to that you want. But you have to start with your energy first. And I take that very serious. When my energy is off, the money's off, there's no gigs, everything is off. When my energy is right, I'm flowing on such a high vibration, I can attract some amazing opportunities. And it happened again this week. I wasn't in the best energy, and I shifted my energy. I actually fasted for the first time.
Really?
For a full day. So I didn't eat all day. I drank water and had green shakes. From when I woke up, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. the next day.
What?
Didn't eat. My first time fasting. My boyfriend was fasting for 3 days. I'm like, I don't know about all that. But I'm going to try one day because it was something that was in my heart that I wanted to do for a while. Just didn't really know why. I wanted to know why. But I felt like not only have I been eating like shit, but vibrationally, I've been in a creative funk. So I'm like, I got to do something to show God, I'm serious about wanting to shift my energy. And, gym, meditation, sauna, all that is great. But I want to sacrifice my comfort in some way. Because the thing with humans, we always asking for shit. God, I need a nigga. God, I need some money. God, I need some food stamps. But what are you giving God? You always asking for shit, but what are you giving up? You still smoking weed. You still fucking weird niggas. You still giving weird bitches your energy. You're not ready to give up none of this stuff that's not helping you win, but you asking God for everything. It don't work that way. You want something, you got to give something up. I feed my ancestors. I light candles. I take time for prayer and meditation. I take time to really tap in with the sources and the things above me that's making sure I'm good on this planet Earth. A lot of people don't do that. You got to give something up in order to get. This is a one hand washes the other kind of relationship. You got to treat God like how you treat a friend that you have on earth. You got to be a good friend. You got to be, you got to just give shit up in order to get. That's all I'm saying.
My mom used to say that, with great talent, sometimes there comes sacrifice. But, you continue to give. You are also becoming a resource in teaching people your tools to becoming a DJ. Yeah. What has that been like for you?
Crazy. I've gotten phone calls, girls crying yo, all I had was an OnlyFans, and I took the course, I tapped in with you, and now I'm DJing all over my city, and I'm booked and busy, and I have income coming in. For bitches to not have to sell their soul and make $1 means a lot. For people to see themselves in a different light because now they have valuable information that could change their situation, that makes me happy. And I have students all over the fucking world. London, shout out to London. Chicago, shout out to Miracle Bailey, one of my students that I see her, Alex, Alexos in LA going crazy. And we all actually are a community. They know each other. We all are in a group chat. We exchange information. I really want this to be a thing. Because one thing I hate more than a bad fucking lace front is a gatekeeper. You heard? Why are we keeping information from each other? I could tell you one thing, that shit could change your whole situation. And I get blessed off the back just because I'm sharing information. People always, that's some slavery shit when you want to keep shit to yourself. That's some crabs in a bucket mentality type shit when you just want to keep stuff so that only you can win. There's room for everybody to win, for all of us to eat. I don't have to be the only girl DJ at the Met. I would love to see other women there. I send my homegirl people all the time, yo, book her. I'm not a hater. What God got for me is already mine. I don't need yours. I don't need what's on your plate. I don't even eat meat like that. I'm lying. I'm going to stop though. But we need to be sharing information because I think just as Black people, brown people, that's what help us get from one space to another.
Yeah, no, I think it's important that, we have the mentality that if you are winning, like you said, if your sister's house is raining, my house is raining too.
Yeah.
So it's important for us to be able to unify in that way, no matter what creed that we walk, either if we're gay, straight, which, that is actually something I wanted to talk to you about, because we were talking about a lot of things before we record, and I feel like there's going to be a common question I ask.
Okay.
Because I'm gay.
No.
And so I was, because, as I'm building this podcast, because I don't know where like straight people hang out in New York City. And I'm like,
I mean,
like, I don't like, because, okay, so like there was a time where like people, I mean, this is before our time where like people were going to like 40/40 Club and to like Amnesia and like to all these places. There was once upon a time where like the Meatpacking District where like people were going there to LeBain and all these places. Now all these places are just like gone.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to like Black spaces, I don't know where like Black straight people hang out. Okay. And like you are a Black straight person.
Yes. Cafe Arzuli, Brooklyn Vibes, Babel Loft. There's a few.
Yeah.
Everyday People when they have their events, beautiful Black, straight, and gay, all the things. I think what's going on now is why you don't find straight places, because there's so much freedom now where everyone's more accepting now, where gays and straight people can actually hang out at the same spaces now.
Are we there? Like, do you feel like we're there?
There's a place, the same people that curate Everyday People, shout out to my boy Maine, I went to his party last night. They have an event at LeBain called Dance, Dance, Dance. They've been doing it for 8 years now. It's one of the more unique spaces where you do find heavy African people in the building, DJ MoMA DJing, Amapiano music, heavy Afro beats, but then they mix it with like dance music, house music, deep house, and it's a heavy gay crowd and straight crowd.
Wow.
Wednesday nights.
Wow.
Amazing vibe. I'll take you.
Yes, because I remember when I was in Brazil, it was like that. Like, I remember like being so confused of like who's straight, who's gay. And then, I don't know. I mean, it's just like as I'm continuing, because like, this podcast is all about the tastemakers. You're a tastemaker in New York City. And like, as I started to like look up, I'm like, okay, what about the heterosexual people? What about the Asian people? Like, where are those communities at? And I was starting to say to myself, like, is this city like a segregated nightlife scene? Is it a segregated? Okay, do you want to touch a little bit based on that?
Because even there's a lot of venues that still have issues like hiring Black DJs and allowing Black DJs to curate events. There's a lot of venues that won't allow you to do your own parties. So there's still a lot of gatekeeping energy. And if you look at the city, as much as we want to say we're a melting pot, where do the Jamaicans live? They live on Flatbush or Brooklyn somewhere, or they live all the way uptown 241st, where the houses is at. Where the Dominicans at? They in Washington Heights. Que lo que? Where the Jewish people at? They got their neighborhoods in Brooklyn too. It's still very segregated. Where the Black and Spanish people at? Maybe in the South Bronx. Puerto Ricans, and Blacks, South Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Where the Africans at? They got their block on 116th. Like, is that not segregation?
Yeah.
Where we're like, we know we're Chinese people, Chinatown. So New York is extremely segregated. Nightlife is still rather segregated. It's getting better, but there's still segregation.
What are some of the tactics you've experienced then, where they were, because you said that they don't sometimes want to bring on a Black DJ. How do you get that vibe? Like, for people who might want to know and be aware of, like, okay, they're being a little bit cold.
I mean, you got to pick up on energy.
Right.
And I don't give my energy where I'm not valued. So I don't do a lot of nightlife because also it's not a lot of money in nightlife. I do corporate events, museums, all that good stuff, private events. That's more valuable to me and my time. I don't need to be home at 4 a.m. Honestly, got shit to do. I'd rather be, in-house or working a corporate event, home by 10 p.m., making a good bag. But I try not to just like, the nightlife energy is a little weird to me. But there are some cool places, some cool Black-owned places that I mentioned earlier. And you go where you're valued.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely learning about, culture, especially, you're the first person that I'm interviewing who is a woman and as well as a New York native. Growing up here, because I'm meeting people who are tastemakers who have really shifted the culture. Do you feel like you have like a deep relationship with New York City?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What is that like?
It's like wearing a Vanson in 2014, 15 while you're in London, Milan, Paris for Fashion Week. And then in 2024, everybody's wearing a Vanson. That's what it's like.
I like don't know what that means, but it sounds sexy.
It's just always knowing what the trends are going to be 10 years before they're the trend. It's always knowing, you know, like the newest slang. You know, it's always knowing, you know, it's being a vibe, being a natural vibe. Like being a New Yorker is like being the fucking, I don't know, the sugar in a coffee. You know what I mean? Being the, you know, just being the ginger in the green shake. Like you just are the flavor.
Yeah.
And it's just so natural. Like I could be like, I'm going to the store real quick, put on a fit. Every week is Fashion Week. Are you done?
Yeah.
Like it's just an effortless like vibe, an effortless energy, an effortless confidence. Like New Yorkers are confident and we be dumb.
You know, I feel like
dumb as fuck, confident. Wrong answer. Say it bad loud.
You always, I feel like I don't know, like something about you just feels New York. And like I said before, that's the reason why I have you sitting here. And so one thing I feel like you definitely would know is, what's the difference between a Harlem nigga, a Bronx nigga, a Brooklyn nigga, Staten Island, a Queens? Like, what's the difference? Would you point out?
I don't know nothing about Staten Island nigga. Let me just say that for the record.
Okay. I mean, there was like, what's his name? Method Man.
I don't know nothing about Staten Island nigga. Let me just say that for the record.
Okay.
Nothing. Harlem nigga, always gonna be a little flashy. You feel me? Always gonna have the lingo. Always gonna like be a good time. And always gonna try to cut your ass. Like always gonna try to compare you, or like, you know, Harlem person is always gonna like confident, flashy, and always gonna try to like one up you. Brooklyn nigga may be a little bit more low key, a little bit more thuggy, you know, a little thuggish, you know, a little low key thuggish. He might rob you, he might not. Like you just don't know.
That's so funny that you say that, because I feel like some people might make the argument between Brooklyn and the Bronx, but I feel like Brooklyn niggas will really
listen.
Yeah,
Bronx nigga, he gonna light you up. You want to smoke? Like, he gonna light you up. You know, he might not be the flyest, but he'll make you laugh. Bronx nigga is always gonna be funny, down to earth. He might rob you too. Hide your cards, hide your wife. But definitely like a lighter vibe than a Brooklyn nigga. You feel me? Queens, he probably gonna wear a Gucci shirt and be corny. Hairline back here.
Is that that's what Queens is giving? Oh my god.
Queens is giving like you know Queens nigga because you don't know where the fuck he from.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, oh, you might be from any borough. Yeah. Just don't know. That's a Queens nigga.
Yeah.
Just I mean, outside for no reason.
I think that, like, when it comes to Queens, there's, like, a lot of, I feel like that's the most diverse borough. Like, all of us are there.
Yeah.
And I always tell people all the time, if you can't afford to travel the world, travel in New York, we're all here.
Yeah.
But, you know, because you point that out, can you spot a person who's not from here immediately?
Not anymore.
Really?
Because everyone's weird now.
Really?
And we're in assimilation. Everybody look the same teeth, same makeup, even the black, Asian. Like you put a black girl, Asian girl, Spanish girl, so an Indian girl together, they look the same. That's what Instagram has done. That's what social media has done. That's what the trends have done. These bitches dress the same, they look the same, got the same teeth, got the same makeup, got the same lace front. I cannot tell these hoes apart. I am fucking over it.
I agree with you, but in that same notion though, like I low-key, I mean, when it comes to black people, when it comes to like us, like marginalized, like Latino people, like I could tell when you're not from here. I don't know what it is, and really,
I mean, right now, I mean, when I gotta speak to you, I can't look at you and tell.
Yeah.
And when I talk to you, then I know.
Even sometimes when I look at a person, I'm like, that person's not from here.
I mean, but a lot of people are not from here.
That's true.
We're the last ones left, baby.
Yeah.
We're the last ones left.
I feel like we all know each other.
We do.
Yeah.
Because we from here, for real.
Like, I just, I definitely feel that, like, there's something special about being from New York and growing up here.
And for the record, there's a difference between being from New York and living in New York. So stop going around the world telling people you're from New York because you're making us look bad. You live here. Relax.
That is such a New York thing for you to say. I want to touch back more into your DJing things. I have a few more questions before, I don't want to take too much of your time.
No worries, we here.
But I'm having such a good time talking to you.
Likewise.
Yeah. I wanted to know, what are some of the favorite things, that you like to spin? Because I know that you multi-genre. Did you say that what it was?
Multi-genre.
Okay. Yeah.
So multi-genre DJ is basically an open format DJ that plays sounds throughout the diaspora all over. So I could go from playing like Anita Baker, and then mixing that with like a ballet funk beat, which is like Brazilian hip hop, then mixing that with like dembow, then reggaeton, then going into amapiano, then going into Afrobeat, then going into bachata. Like I take you through all the different genres, and I feel like a lot of my clients are in the art world, and that the art space really does gravitate towards my sound, and I feel very blessed to be able to be that go-to DJ for these people, is because I can literally take you through the diaspora through my DJ sets. I'm taking you all over the world. People from anywhere around the world is going to hear something that they like. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes a special DJ set. When everybody in the room, from wherever you're from, whatever time period, whatever age group, whatever country, you're like, oh, I knew that one. Oh, you got to play something for at least one person in the room. Mm-hmm. And I think being an open format, multi-genre DJ, it's just key, because I'm not going to be the bitch playing the same 50 Afrobeat songs at the party. Mm-hmm. We're not doing that. I'm giving you all of, my range. And I think that's what is special about what I do.
In a young Wavy Fox style.
Period. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so like all of that, I mean, we talked about Naomi Campbell. We talked about Coachella. We talked about Revlon. We talked about Nike. Yes. You've had so many moments. What would you say is like one of, from right now that we're speaking, because I know there are probably so much that that you can't even recall at this moment. What is like one of your career highlights thus far?
Last month was my 4th time DJing at the Met. Wow. Somebody put me in a Guinness World Book of something, because I feel like a Black girl from where I'm from, a Garifuna girl. I don't think this has ever been done. Mm-hmm. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not keeping score, but to be able to work with such an established institution in America. And I'm a girl that wrote a book called How to Curve Niggas and Manifest Peace. Mm-hmm. And I'm able to be in these spaces where it's just like, how did you get here?
Do you want to talk a little bit about the book?
Definitely. Yeah. But I would say the book at the Met during Black History Month, I was able to showcase my book for their Black History Month pop-up. Wow. So I'm at the Met with a book called How to Curve Niggas and Manifest Peace, talking to them about, manifesting peace and stuff. Mm. And the book is basically a book of text art that I curated throughout the years. So I went through my iPhone from about 2017 to 2021 or 2020. Yeah, 2021. I took quotes and like thoughts and ideas and affirmations that I had in my phone, and I converted it into text art and put it in the book format. So when you read through the book, there's like funny quotes like, there's a bunch of funny quotes in the book, a bunch of serious quotes in the book, a bunch of quotes that, probably somebody playing with the door, a bunch of quotes that, really like that were in my phone that I felt I just wanted to publish and put out, that helped me heal. Mm-hmm. It helped me heal during my sad moments. It helped me heal during the funny moments, through my dating. Mm-hmm. The book is called How to Curve Niggas and Manifest Peace, not because I'm out here really curving niggas, but because I'm actually curving my lower vibrational self. Mm. And we have to understand that Black culture has been synonymous with nigga culture, and these are actually two different things. Nigga culture is some whole other shit. That's not Black culture. Mm. Black culture is excellence. Mm. You hear me? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nigga culture is what's being fed to us, and what's being fed to us at a very high level so that we could stay stuck in a low vibration. Nigga culture is white supremacy's best friend. So when I say I'm curving niggas, I'm curving my lower vibrational self. It don't have much to do with niggas. It's about me holding myself accountable for the person that I want to be. And in the book, all the quotes are written by higher self, because I aspire to be my higher self. And I have healing tools in the back of the book, different tools that I've been using throughout my life. I've been through so much trauma. And I wrote this book to transmute my trauma. Instead of me, lashing out on Black men or, becoming a city girl or doing all types of dumb shit out of not being healed, I decided to transmute that energy and write a book as healing for myself. So I don't got to smack or kill nobody's son. Okay. I could actually transmute my energy through art and create things that can make me laugh, make me smile, make me cry, and reminisce on this time period where I was frustrated in my dating experience. So there's a lot of quotes of me just talking my shit because that's what I do. But I turned it into art, and I turned it into healing tools in the back of the book, teaching girls how to cleanse their energy with sage and palo santo. Teaching girls how to shed energy and how to forgive by doing burning ceremonies where you write out who you forgive, why you need to forgive them, and then you read it and then you burn it and you release that energy.
Continue being up to date with all things peace by following the links attached to this episode. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's wrap up the show. You mentioned something about saging and Palo Santo. You're gonna think this sounds funny, but like I don't like Palo Santo, and I wonder if I'm demonic.
No.
But there was recently someone in my life has transitioned into being really religious. They've started practicing God in a way that I've never seen them practice religion in that way. And so people sometimes will make the argument that like Palo Santo and cards and like
crystals
and all that other stuff is demonic. What do you say to that? Like, how do you combat that argument?
I don't combat anything when it comes to spirituality.
Good, yeah.
I think you have to do what you see fit and what is comfortable for you in the realm that you are currently in. I've been tapped into my crystal work and crystal healing for well over 5 years. I come from a family who has practiced. We have our own African indigenous spirituality that we practice. But of course, because of colonialism, we practice, I grew up Catholic. But we have our own stuff that we do. You know what I mean? It's very similar to Santeria, which Dominicans and, Puerto Ricans practice. Very similar to like hoodoo, voodoo, which Haitians practice. Our spirituality and some of our spiritual practices, one of the names is Chugu and Dugu, where you honor your ancestors. You're able to connect with them through a specific family member who is able to talk to the family members who have passed. So they are able to embody those spirits and give you advice and give you, warn you about things and let you know that they know what you're up to on this realm. So I have a strong connection to my ancestors who some I actually know by name.
Wow.
So I'm able to connect with them directly. And, not everything that I was taught as a kid resonates with me anymore. I don't believe in a religion. I don't practice religion, but I am spiritual. But you got to be careful when you say that, because I did a text art. I'm actually working on my own bodies of text art where I'm painting. And I did my first quote and it said, bitches be like, I'm spiritual, like all spirits is good. Not all spirits is good. Okay, you spiritual. What kind of spirit is in you, bitch? What is you talking about?
That is so wild. Only just because my mom growing up, she would always tell me, don't pray with everyone because you don't know where they're praying to.
That's very real.
I haven't heard that.
Very well.
Wow.
I'm going to do ayahuasca in Peru too, but you think I trust a little white shaman with my energy? My ancestors will smack the shit out of me.
Wow.
Facts. Girl. I got to be very careful because my family don't play with that, I have my way of centering and grounding myself through, earthing, putting my feet on the actual ground with my crystals and, just transmuting energy in so many different ways. But you got to find what works for you. With TikTok and all the influence of social media, we got everybody thinking they are bruja and everybody thinking they tapped in. Everybody's tapped in and you don't know what you're allowing your energy to be involved in. So be careful. If it feels right for you, it might be for you, but not everything that feels good is necessarily for you. So do your research.
I mean, You were just like so, you encompass so many things. I love it. Like being a beautiful
Thank
dark skinned
you.
girl, being a Latina woman,
Thank
being
you.
Garifuna.
Garifuna, let's
Like
go.
I'm learning so much, and I
Thank
have
you.
two more questions, and then
Let's
like
do
we'll conclude
it.
it.
Yeah.
You are an entrepreneur. That's how I know you as. And so I feel like, I always hear you say it's like, and a millionaire has like six different incomes.
Incomes.
And so I've heard you say that. And so I see you working towards expansion. Like what would you say is like maybe the next thing that you feel comfortable sharing as
Yeah.
part of your expansion and growth?
Definitely exhibits,
Mm.
art exhibits. I had my first exhibit, Garifuna Noguya, The Presence of Blackness in Guatemala, last February. Amazing turnout. It was the coldest day in New
Mm.
York.
Mm.
And all my art friends came out.
Mm.
Kahari Turner, Alterance Gumpy, my girl Jamila, all my art friends came out. All my Garifuna people came out.
Mm.
People that are like, hey, I'm half Garifuna from Honduras, from Belize, like people I've never met. I was able to build community. It was just powerful. I had like live drummers come. Shout out to what's her name? Kandeke. She came as this girl that dances on the internet. Like she goes to all these countries and learn their
Did
dances.
she dance?
She came to Garifuna and she was dancing punta better than me. Amazing. It
Wow.
was I had live drummers doing Garifuna music. I had a Garifuna mix that I put together, curated throughout the event
And wait, when did this happen?
last February. And I took pictures, 5 years worth of like pictures, some film work that I do, all amateur stuff. But I do this because of the passion. And I think it's all about telling the story. It doesn't have to be perfect. But the next time I go, I want to have like photographers, videographers, like, we could stay at my place that I have there, my family's home, and like really like I want to bring so much light in the best way of my culture. But exhibits, I have my How to Curve Niggas and Manifest piece pop-up shop that's going to be coming soon, exhibit coming soon. I'm doing text art where I'm actually painting quotes from my book for my next exhibit. I'm doing film work where I'm interviewing myself because the book, all the quotes are written by higher self. So I'm doing this film where Casey or Wavy Fox is going to be talking to higher self in a film. So me talking to me, like I said, the book is about holding myself accountable for the vibration that I'm choosing to live in and deciding not to live on my nigga vibration because I could be a nigga OD. So just them having a conversation like, oh, why you wrote the book? Well, can you use the word nigga because you are Afro Latina, so maybe it doesn't affect you like that. Like, all those like things that I think people are probably like whispering about because I don't think people really understand my work because it's so vast, right? I'm so extreme. Like this bitch wrote a book called How to Curve Niggas and Manifest Peace, but then she's doing an exhibit on Garifuna culture and is an intellect and knows that where her people are from. You know what I mean? It's just I embody so many different elements of what it is to be a creative. And I think as much as I don't really care to give myself to the internet and I don't want to be this thing that exists on the internet, I understand how it is important to, when you are releasing bodies of work, to explain yourself a little bit and create context around the bodies of work so that people know what you're talking about. Because I just be me in a book. They're like, like girl, like Black Lives Matter just happened. Like, why would you write something like that? Like, that's weird. I think it could be like, what is it, like bad timing? But I don't exist on you humans' time. So everything I'm going to be doing is always going to be light years ahead of the rest of people. That's just what it is. We spoke about this. So it's like I now just want to shut the fuck up because everybody's on the internet talking shit, talking about nothing. And I want to just create bodies of work that people can come into my world and see exist. And how you feel about it doesn't matter because it's still going to be created by me.
I mean, I can relate to that. For me, when I create art, I have to feel it. Like I have to connect with it and move with it. And one thing I'm learning as an artist is like people are gonna have their opinions, but you have to feel good about it because if you going out there being a fraud just to make people happy and things like this, like in the end, you're gonna feel like if it doesn't do well, you're gonna be like, it's my fault that I allowed all these voices to come in. So I can agree with that sentiment.
You know how many people, sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
There's so many people that reach levels of success, quote unquote, because success is relative, right? And they reach those levels of success not being who they really are.
Mm.
And I never wanted that for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I never want to reach certain heights and I got there pretending to be somebody I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you commit suicide.
Mm.
That's when you are depressed. That's when you don't feel fulfilled. But you got all the money in the world, all the accolades. You don't even know who the fuck you are. Because you got here being somebody that you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to do that. I promised myself, if you're going to be in this art space, in this world, being like, you quit fashion and all of that because you were pretending. Now you could be you. You don't have to pretend. You know what I mean? Like, you could write books. You could do whatever it is you want to do. Everything is in my reach. Everything. And yours too, and in everybody's. And that's why I do all these different things so we don't have to feel like stagnant. There's nobody I could look. People are like, oh, who's your biggest influence? Me, nigga. What are you talking about? I don't know nobody doing what I'm doing. I don't look up to nobody. There's nobody that took the same trajectory that I could be like, oh, I'm gonna do this because that's the way she did it. I don't have the privilege of that. I don't have nobody in my family doing what I'm doing. I don't have nobody helping me doing what I'm doing. It's just me figuring this shit out, me and God.
I can relate to that so much. My last question, because I mean, you've said this throughout the interview, but this is how I want to conclude.
Yes.
Is how are you producing peace?
I mean, I have the healing tools in the book. You know, yeah, I'm like laughing about curving niggas and curving my lower vibrational self, but and manifest peace. I took that very literal and serious because the book was done. And I'm like, girl, how you manifesting peace? How are you helping other young women manifest peace? For a long time, I thought I was crazy. I thought I was batshit crazy. I didn't know. No, I'm depressed. I didn't know. Casey, that's PTSD. Oh, that's CPTSD, complex CPSD. I didn't know that's trauma. I didn't have the words for what I was experiencing for years. And through going to therapy and through being a self-healer, through working with my crystals, through praying to God, to praying with and, you know, feeding my ancestors and asking for guidance, through journaling, through all of these tools, through cleansing my energy and learning how to do these things, I've been able to manifest a level of peace in my life that I never thought would exist for me. I'm used to drama. I come from a family full of fucking drama. I thought that was what was normal. And then I live alone. You see, it's just nothing but plants and good energy in here. You know, it took me a while to just live in peace. And even now, sometimes I'm like, my life is so boring. I'm so bored. You're not bored, sweetie. This is what peace is. So I could finally say I'm not in survival mode. Although I have moments where I'm like, okay, that was triggering. We have to work on this. I'm never going to completely be healed. God don't have none of us here to be completely healed. Our souls are here to evolve. And my soul is evolving the more that I am able to create moments of peace for myself. And being in New York, in such a low vibrational city, that's very difficult to do, but I'm proud of the way I've been able to do it. And it manifests when you sit down with me and feel my energy. It manifests when you walk through the doors and come in my home and you feel the energy. I don't live a chaotic life. I don't do drama. I don't have friends that do drama. And if they do, they very seldom do they see me. I don't live in that vibration, and I take that serious. And anybody that's looking to manifest peace in their life, you have to cut people off. You have to have boundaries. So what if that's your mother? So what if that's your grandma? Grandma can only talk to that ass on Tuesday. You're toxic. Goodbye, honey.
You know, it's so funny. I remember listening somewhere where they basically said, like, if you are in any type of like friendship, family ship, whatever, in a dynamic where the relationship is toxic, but you still want the relationship, you just give this person, like, we have an hour of time. If you want to spend it arguing,
my parents.
Do that, but I have to go. So I admire that. But so we're concluding now. I want the people who are listening and watching, how can they find you? I'm going to put this on the bio, but do you want to give a shout out and let them know where they can find you? Of course.
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok at Young Wavy, Wavy Fox, spelled normal. And my website is wavyfoxstudios.com. That's where you can find the Ultimate DJ Marketing Course. That's where you can find my book, How to Curve Niggas and Manifest Peace. We got it in the ebook for $11.11. We got it on physical form for $32. Don't be cheap. Support your Black sister.
Can we talk about the candles too?
Oh, candles are coming. The affirmation candles. I lack nothing. I am everything.
They smell mad good too.
Amazing. I got a gift for you today.
Oh
Don't
my
even
God.
trip. Yep, I know you and Mel like it. I gotcha. I have my candles, my affirmation candles. I am beautiful. I am valuable. I am worthy. You know, you like that when you need to remind yourself you that girl, or you that boy, or you that he, she, they, them, her, whatever your pronouns are. You are that, you know. So a lot of the work that I'm doing is to empower people. A lot of the work that I'm doing is to empower people by empowering myself first. A lot of people want to like save the world, but it's like, my nigga, your own house is burning. Put the fire out in your own house, and then, you know, help wherever you can. And through my bodies of work, I just want to inspire and just be me. And hopefully that enables somebody else to like just want to be more of themselves.
Thank you so much for your time, Casey.
Thank you.
It's not only has it been a great conversation, it's been a learning experience to learn more about you, to learn more about culture, to learn about our city. I want to thank everyone for listening in and tuning in, and that has been another episode of Producing Peace.
Peace.